Hey guys! Welcome to Mama's Boys. In this program, we will meet priests from around the globe. We will discuss interesting features of their lives, from their humble beginnings, their calling, the churches, and more. Hi guys! Today on Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys, our guest has a very interesting vocation story. From the corporate world to priesthood, meet Father Lamberto Ramos of the Diocesan Shrine and Parish of Our Lady of the Abandoned Marikina. Hello po, Father. First of all po, thank you very much po for allowing us to interview you po. Kindly share to our audience po your personal background po.
Thank you, Kay. Is it Kay or,
Yes, po.
or Karen?
Pareho rin po.
Pareho. Okay. I am Bulakenyo, pure Bulakenyo. I was born, raised, grade school in Malolos, Bulacan. Then I went to the minor seminary at a tender age of 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Then I went through high school and college in the seminary, Immaculate Conception Seminary. We started the seminary there, then all the way to San Carlos Seminary. I left the seminary. I was asked by my spiritual director to leave temporarily. And so doing, he sent me to College of the Holy Spirit, and I taught philosophy at the tender age of 19 years old. While there, I pursued a master's degree in philosophy in Ateneo. After a couple of years, I went to my bishop, and I told the bishop, pasensya na po, pero palagay ko po hindi na ako babalik sa seminaryo.
Ano po yun? Regency po yun, Father?
That was Regency for 2 years, but that was the time when you were trying to figure out whether priesthood is for you. When I was teaching, I said, this is not going to be the life I wish to pursue. So I left. I went to my bishop, sought permission, and then in 3 years' time, I got married. I got married to my former student. So, but she graduated first before I pursued her. So that was thereafter. Philosophizing, teaching was not good enough to feed a family. So I went to a different direction. I took MBA, became a corporate man, and then from becoming a marketing manager all the way to becoming a CEO in various companies here and abroad.
Wow.
So thankfully, I was successful in being a corporate man. I have 3 wonderful children. All of them are very well placed now. And by year 2009, something disastrous happened, if I may say so. My wife of 34 years died because of colon cancer. So after a couple of years, I remembered her last words to me before she died. She told me, "You may want to go back to your first love." Of course, I said, "I have no first love but you. You are my one and only love." Please, sabi niya sa akin, "I knew you were trying to become a priest. That is your first love." So the following day she died, and then 2 years thereafter, I decided I may as well try. So I get back to studying theology. I went to Loyola School of Theology, and 4 years ago, year 2018 to be exact, June 1, I was ordained a priest.
Wow.
So if I may say, it has been 4 years, so maybe I can still claim that I'm still amoy anghel. But
Young priest po, ano?
young priest in terms of service, but I am proudly a senior citizen of 70 years. So I may also claim amoy lupa na rin.
But your wife knew po na your first love is priesthood po, Father.
Well, I'm an ex-seminarian. I am a seminarian on Regency teaching philosophy in their school. It's a Catholic girls' school. So they all knew that this teacher of philosophy is a seminarian.
But how was your journey po? Parang very colorful po yung naging journey niyo po to priesthood. Ano po? How was your ordination po? Paano rin po yung pagtanggap ng mga kids niyo po to your priesthood po?
Well, the children, first of all, there are 3 of them, 2 boys and 1 girl. The 2 boys, this is ang nakakatawa dyan, usually a seminarian who would like to become a priest would seek permission from parents.
Yes po.
This time, it is a father seeking permission from his children. So the 2 boys were happy, if I may say so, because the eldest just told me, "Oh, Pops, that's the realization of our mother's dream for you." The second one is, well, it's neither here nor there. If this is what will make you happy, fine by me, Pops. I love it because my mother also look forward to seeing you a priest. How did you know that? Well, that's one of those few things that she was telling us when we were at the hospital. But the third one, a girl, of course, she's no longer a girl now. She's a young professional, not professional. She's the head of a school. Said, "Oh, Pops, I must thank God for this." So why? To be honest with you, we don't know what to do with you. So the journey, if I may say so, is not as straightforward as it is, because you'll have to hurdle age factor.
We will still be with Father Lambert after a few reminders. Stay tuned on Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. You are still tuned in to Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. Click that like, share, and subscribe button for more Mama's Boys videos. Back on our interview with Father Lambert.
The heart, the mind, they are still most capable. And to be honest, there was no impediment because, strictly speaking, when I told the bishop that I wanted to become a priest, I was already a bachelor. Yun ang ano yan eh. So walang impediment.
Yes.
What is prohibited is a priest getting married because he has promised he will be forever celibate. But like me, who was married before, and then got widowed, then technically I am binata pa. So I can pursue this. So it.
But how about your journey po? Ilang years din po kayong parang natigil po on the priesthood?
Okay.
Hindi po
8
ba kayo
years in the
nahirapan?
seminary, and then 34 years, what I call interruption, because this is actually meandering from one seminary to the other with rest in between. The rest is 34 years. And then when I went back to studying theology, I also studied for 4 years. It's a full theology course. So I have no problem with studying. My mind was still very sharp. I can still follow. And yeah, that was a nice way of real respite from the hustle and bustle of corporate life. So,
After ordination po, Father, what were your assignments po?
I was immediately assigned here at Our Lady of the Abandoned. First as a resident priest. So my task was, because I am a management practitioner and expert, I was asked by my bishop to help set up systems and processes in running dioceses and parishes. And in fact, he even sent me to Rome to study church management, which basically is not too different from our usual business administration courses, our MBA. The only difference is that they have to add canonical provisions, and there is a basic difference in business or in the secular world. When you are asked to manage something, you are entrusted with wealth to create more wealth. That's business.
Yes.
That is the outside world. But in the church, you are being asked to maintain and sustain church patrimony, because there are things that the church needs to do. Using church patrimony or using temporal goods for the sake of.
Is it challenging po, Father, from being a corporate man to a clergyman po?
Yes, because in business, your objective is very simple. Creating more value for your shareholders. Meaning, in simple terms, yung kayamanan ng mga may-ari ng negosyo, palaguin mo pa. It's very simple. Meaning, kung ikaw ang may-ari, edi palaguin mo pa ang pag-aari mo. Kung ikaw naman ang manager o president nagkatiwala sa iyo, palaguin mo ang kanilang kayamanan. That's very simple, straightforward. And you've got to make use of all means in pursuit of this objective. But church is different. Many of our church workers, for example, are all volunteers. No, you just have to make sure that everything na ginagawa nila are all meaningfully interrelated, functional to a basic goal. So, magkaiba yung dynamics of running the businesses and the people.
You said a while ago po, Father, that you entered the seminary at the very young age. Why did you choose to enter po the seminary at that young age po?
Well, let me tell you this, Generally, and you can ask all those who have gone to the seminary at a tender age or during those, it's generally the vocation of their mothers. Mothers, with the exception of a few, would always want to have priests as their sons as priests. Yeah, my case, for example, my mother was so devoted to Mother Mary. In fact, I was dedicated to Mother Mary at birth. That is how she was so connected with Mother Mary. So I think pinangunahan ako ng ina ko. Sabi sa kanya, Inang Maria, kayo na po bahala. Kung inyo pong mamarapatin itong aking anak, maging pari sana. Hindi nakita ng ina ko na naging pari nga ako. Kahit nga yung wife ko, hindi niya nakita ako naging pari na. Naturally, because hindi naman ako papayagang maging pari kung siya buhay pa.
Yes po. And you were also exposed po to the Jesuits po because you've gone to Loyola School
Yes,
po.
yes.
Buti hindi po kayo pumasok sa mga religious naman po.
The Jesuits can take care of themselves. They have all their good people to help each other. People like me, we need to help diocesan objectives and running a diocese, Yeah, you are right, because my master's degree in philosophy is from Ateneo, and
Yes,
my
po.
theology is also from Loyola School of Theology. So,
You were very exposed po sa kanila.
yeah, yeah. And many of my priests, many of my priest friends are Jesuits. Yeah.
Do you also have a special devotion po to the Blessed Virgin Mary, Father?
Absolutely. I always tell people, I only have three great loves of my life. The first love is Mother Mary, and the second love is my mother, who dedicated me to the first love. And the third love is Vilma, my departed wife. So I have a special devotion to Mother Mary. And I'm just thankful that my assignment now as rector and administrator of this parish and shrine is Our Lady of the Abandoned. So, yeah, you're right. Yes.
Do you have a memorable experience po, even at the very young age po ng inyong priesthood?
No, nothing spectacular. Nothing
Wala
like
po.
the experience of St. Paul. I just go where I'm planted, where the Holy Spirit leads me to. That's where I bloom. That's it. So nothing extravagant, nothing spectacular, nothing kagilas-gilas o kagulat-gulat. Wala ako niyan.
Wala ba po? Ano po yung mga projects and initiatives nyo naman po, Father?
Dito?
Apo.
Okay, first. Marikina people, they love their Ola, or Our Lady of the Abandoned. They they take care of our church, they take care of our image, they take care of this, they lovingly gaze at Mother Mary.
Don't go away. Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys will be right back, so stay tuned. Hi there! You are still watching Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. Please like and share our social media accounts for more updates about Limang Siglo. Back on our interview with Father Lambert.
Marikina people, they love their Ola, or Our Lady of the Abandoned. They take care of our church, they take care of our image, they take care of this, they lovingly gaze at Mother Mary. But veneration, dedication to Mother Mary is not enough. Mother Mary must always lend a helping hand. So, yun ang challenge ko ang ating mga parishioners. Look, we are now, how many years are we now? I think we are 360 years as a parish. And then you add 120 years of our image, I put them together, and I said, this is about 400 something years. So I created what I call Marikina Ola Community Care Partners, whereby 450 Ola partners, I am challenging them to give a minimum of $1,000 or 50,000 pesos, and then they will now choose from the various projects that we have lined up where their money will be used. For example, what are the things that can be used for these donations? Our shrine upkeep, upgrade of catechetical instruction, helping seminarians, or helping the underprivileged, undernourished children, and then the many boys and girls do not have the skills, so we will be sending them to the likes of TESDA, like MFI, Meralco Foundation. We will make them get special skills so that they will be employed. This is where their money will be used. So that is, I call that Ola community care partner. And together with this, we set up a website. We now have an olamarikina.com.ph. So I think this is the first parish in the entire diocese that has a website. So we are putting it there.
Pero how was your situation in here po during the lockdown, Father, during the pandemic po?
Thankfully, our church is most capable. And then, secondly, we were able to help other parishes in need. And thirdly, because of my various friends all over the country, I was able to generate all kinds of relief goods and donations. So we were able to help other people in need. So we got by during the pandemic. We followed strictly the protocols, and thankfully, no major incident happened during the pandemic. Yes.
Also during the pandemic po, the social media communications ministry po boom that time. How was your SOCOM team in this diocese po?
Yeah,
or specifically in this parish po?
In the parish, we were able to have to have our online masses. So we have a very solid social communications team. Yes.
Father, of all the things you do po, may ano pa po ba kayo? Nagagawa pa po kayong hobbies or interest nyo po?
Well, first of all, I am a voracious reader. That's one of those things that I cannot do without. So I read. For my physical fitness, I make sure that at least once or twice a week in the afternoon, when every activity in the morning has been completed, I will go to volley golf and play my usual round of 9 holes of golf.
Wow.
So, well, it has been my sport since I was 25 or 26 years old. So, the fact that I become a priest does not mean that I have to forgo all those things. So, I have some time in the afternoon, so that's fine.
Father, what's your message po to the faithful, especially po in your parish po, in this parish?
This parish, the first thing that it's not the first thing. I am very thankful to God that, responses to universal call to holiness, there are 2 or 3 ways. One is to become a married man or woman, and the other one is to become an ordained priest. The other one, of course, is to remain single. Single blessedness, if I may say so. I am just so blessed to have experienced both. Yeah. But, if your response is to be a spouse and to be a father, then you better make sure that you do it full steam ahead, if I may say so. There should be no ifs, there should be no buts. When you are asked to be a spouse and to be a father or a mother, then by all means, you have made a promise. You will be with your spouse forever. And that you're being asked to raise your children and to educate them well. And then these are things that you cannot do by just talking. You have got to live it and show it by your example. That is also the same thing if you are an ordained priest. You have made a promise. Then you better be true to it. So I am always telling this to our Marikina parishioners. You go here, you come to church, and you pray. But your prayer and your thanksgiving must translate to the way you deal with your fellow men and women. And you define fellow men and women, it starts with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with your brothers and sisters, with your neighbors. So, your love for God, must be expressed through your love and care, concern for your fellow men and women. Yeah.
What's your message naman po to the youth here in the diocese? Especially po, this is a sort of a vocation campaign po.
The only thing I can tell our youth is this. Listen carefully to the whisperings of the Holy Spirit. And once you feel this, do not let this opportunity pass you by. How do we say it? Carpe diem. Seize the day. If you allow this opportunity to pass you by, it may not happen again. So seize it. And then work your way through completing what you have promised to do.
Lastly po, what's your message po to your children, Father, who are listening and viewing our
My
interview
children?
right now po?
Well, you children, you know your father. I am thankful that they were raised wonderfully by their mother. I cannot claim to have been a major part in this because I was always in and out of the country. So thankfully, I was capable enough to have to take care of their needs. Though the mother was not or did not work at all because I was the sole provider. And I was very thankful for God to have given me such resources. And the mother was able to raise them well. So live according to what you learned from your father and the kind of organization and discipline that you learned from me.
Thank you very much po, Father, for granting our request to interview you po, despite your busy schedule. Thank you very much po.
With pleasure. Ano tawag natin sa Kastila? Con mucho gusto. With pleasure. It is my pleasure. Thank you.
We would like to thank the following. There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Mama's Boys. Hope to see you in our future episode. This has been your host, Karen Dane. Jamataray shune!